Oh! He's like, yeah, I got it. Oh, I don't got it.
That was awesome.
They'll be hoping that every race from now to the end of the season is torrential rain.
Trulli is quickest in sectors 1 and 2, so Jarno Trulli could jump up to provisional pole position. He's about to come through the final corner now. The Italian, the one-lap specialist in his Formula 1 days, now about to come across the line. Are we going to see him move to the top of the timing screens? Trulli across the line, provisionally pole, 21.547. That's 8 tenths quicker than PK. That's a wonderful lap. One more corner at turn 17, out onto the start-finish straight. Buemi is slower than he's been so far, and I don't think we're going to see an improvement from the Swiss racer across the line in its 3rd place. So that means Jarno Trulli is going to be starting on pole position for the first time since the Bahrain Grand Prix of 2009, the first time in 6 years for Jarno Trulli. Here's Felix Rosenqvist for Mahindra, only 2 left to run to stop Sam Bird taking pole position. Andre Lotter in the Tagita coming up later, but first of all, it's the Swede Felix Rosenqvist from Värnamo, the man who is 2nd in the championship. So it's our second place man in the championship up against the championship leader's teammate, with Sam Bird lurking there in 3rd. There's still Gill, the team boss of Mahindra, as Rosenqvist comes down the hill now.
This could be exciting. Oh, Felix likes to just lay it on the line and drive the car as hard as it will go, leaving no margin for error.
So we'll get his first sector split at about 30 seconds. So just as he comes up the hill and takes the jump, up or down on Sam Bird, up by 4 tenths of a second. 4 tenths. What a first sector from Felix Rosenqvist.
Gotta get it stopped here.
The man is a qualifying machine. 5 pole positions in just 18 Formula E races.
Quickest in practice this morning. How close he is to the wall on the left.
Oh, I thought he was sliding.
May have.
I think he touched the wall there, Felix Rosenqvist, through the middle sector. Does that cost him time? He's still 8 tenths up on Sam Bird. This is a majestic lap from Felix Rosenqvist.
Yeah, but has he broken the suspension jack? Looks to the right rear.
Looks like it's not crabbing too bad.
No, if it is, he's got away with something. If he hit the wall, sounded like he hit it.
Yeah. Again, the back end swings out, kicks up the dust right by the Tech Pro barriers, now into the Romana bus stop.
Oh. There you go, there was some speed through
Just
there.
hugged the inside all the way around like it was his favourite granny, and comes into the final corner and across the line, and it is going to be pole, provisional pole for Rosenqvist.
6.5 tenths. Did he hit?
I'm convinced he did. He certainly got loose.
Let's see.
There's the loose.
Yes, yeah, he did. Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good. I think it was a bit
Tell me about it. So here comes Sims across the line to start his flying lap in Diriyah, into turn 1.
Very gentle on the brakes, trying to keep the pitch of the car neutral.
Looking neat and tidy so far from Sims, really hugging the apices as he comes through the first sector. What's it going to be? Quickest by a good 3 tenths. Over to Grassi and Evans. He's looked really hooked up this weekend, Alexander Sims.
They change of direction. Some other teams think that's what the BMW's advantage on this track, is the way it changes direction down the hill. That's a great lap so far from Alexander Sims.
A quarter of a second up on Grassi, now through the second sector. He's 4 tenths up on Grassi. Sims is flying here. Oh, but it's a big slide.
That was phenomenal car control from Alexander Sims.
4-wheel drifting out of 17, but will that have cost him time all the way up this long straight?
That looked cool. That's no comfort to the BMW Andretti squad, I'm sure.
And Sims doesn't often look cool. Here he comes towards the final corner, out across the line. Sims goes quickest, 3 tenths of a second ahead of Lucas de Grassi. Lost 2 tenths compared to de Grassi in that final sector, but a smile from Roger Griffiths.
Some slide out of 17.
Oh yeah, look at that, phenomenal.
And this is going to get a bit messy. The 2 DS Tachitas Grassi being told on the radio, you've got to overtake. 19 seconds left on the clock, and they hit each other. Grassi hits Costa's now to the back of the pack as they come into the final corner. They're super late on the brakes. Now Grassi slows down. Costa up the inside of Buemi. It's like I'm commentating on a race. Across the line they come, and they're not going to make it. The checker flag falls, and Verne, Grassi, and Costa will not set a qualifying time. And Buemi, it's an absolute disaster for the front runners. Grassi, Costa, Buemi and Verne will not start a lap. Gunter did and Mitch Evans did. So 2 cars did, but that is a little bit stupid looking for those drivers there and those teams. Evans is on it, Gunter is on it, but it won't be another pole position for DS Techeetah, will it? So here's the replay on board with Costa then. He's on the outside of his teammate Verne. They're going side by side. Grassi gives him a little hip of the shoulder, almost puts him in the wall. He drops them behind Buemi, but none of that mattered because they were too far back anyway. Here's Buemi across the line, and let's see, there's the reaction. Here he comes now, the championship leader no less, starts his lap in Mexico City.
And the first braking zone is so tricky. Edo Mortara, gotta say, nailed turn 1.
Again, did in the semi-final as well, didn't he? Here comes Wehrlein now. He starts his lap, and after turn 1, we'll start to get the comparison. Whichever driver is higher is ahead at that point on the circuit. Look neat and tidy from Wehrlein, and there's only 200ths between them after the first corner.
Was Wehrlein ever so slightly wide? Yeah, I think he was, just couldn't get quite to the throttle on the exit of 1 as well as Edo Mortara did.
Mortara almost a 10th up, but not for much longer because Wehrlein's catching. Only 9 thousandths between them. Oh, bit of a slide for Mortara.
Yeah, he's offline though, he missed the apex in turn 12.
He's got ahead though of Wehrlein, but that mistake was in the stadium section that Wehrlein is yet to come through. Mortara on the power now. Back end sliding as he comes across the line. It's really sliding as he comes across the line. He's sideways. Mortara sets the benchmark, but Wehrlein is arriving now into the Perotada. Wehrlein is ahead, and surely this is going to be pole position for the Porsche. He's on the power. He's across the line, and it's pole. But it's going, it's gone. And then he still has the rears lit before he then hits the, it's only I think over after he crosses the line he hits the brakes. Look, he's flat out, still flat out, and then stamps on the brakes once he's crossed the timing line. Magnificent from Eduardo Mortara. Here we go again.
Look, listen, trust me, that's telling him from a long way that it's upset.
Well, no pole position for Eduardo Mortara, but it gave us a lot of fun. So, here comes Grassi. Through the final corner and out across the line. He is going to be the first driver across. Dennis will be following him through. Mr. Grassi sends it down towards the first corner. Frederic Bertrand is the team principal of Mahindra, the bespectacled gentleman watching in the garage. And now, here comes Dennis. Out across the line. Down towards turn 1. Grassi made it through turn 1 unscathed. Oh, he's a little wide, maybe a 5 and 6. And Grassi's quicker though through turn 1 by 1/10 of a second. Hughes was fractionally quicker than Dennis actually through the. Oh, Dennis has made an error. Dennis must have made an error. But Grassi's sliding all over the place. Dennis has lost 0.8 of a second. It's another lockup. It's done for Dennis. Surely it's done for Dennis. 2 errors. And the car's all over the place. And Grassi's got a 1.2 second margin here.
Two duels in a row where it's been handed to him.
Lucas Di Grassi comes through the final corner now. He's got a 3-second margin. Here's Dennis's radio.
No worries, he just finished the lap, he just finished the lap.
He's going to keep pushing.
Apologises to the team, but it doesn't matter. Lucas Di Grassi across the line, and in his first race for Mahindra, takes pole position in Mexico City. Lucas Di Grassi is back. Pole for Mahindra, their 3rd pole position in Mexico City, and an unbelievable shock result in the first qualifying session of the season. And Fenestraz comes down towards turn 1. Hooks it up through the left. .400ths up, Gunter, after the first corner. Oh, they're both fighting through turns 2 and 3. And Fenestraz closes the gap, but by barely anything. Fenestraz gets ahead by 0.04 of a second. Now out onto Beach Road. Quick left-handers coming up here, where we've seen so much trouble. Fenestraz over 1/10 up. Both through the lefts without drama. Now over 2/10 up. Left now at Mooley Point. 2 more corners to go at 11 and 12. Now almost 0.4 of a second. Fenestraz is looking set. 2 corners to go. Out across the line. Who will take their first pole in Formula E? It's Fenestraz by over 0.4. Nissan on pole in Cape Town.
Very fast lap. 1:7.8.
Oh, that's huge. And that is also the fastest lap in Formula E history in terms of average speed over a lap. A place on the front row here is up for grabs. Muller sends it in, such different lines through that final turn. Now it's just a drag race. Will it be Verne or Muller on the front row of the grid in Berlin? It's Muller!
My goodness.
It's Nico Muller for Abt! Surely we're not having an Abt front row lockout. He's got a corner to go. He's absolutely sailed through turn 9, Robin Freins. He drives towards the line. Are we on for an Abt front row lockout in Berlin against all odds? We are!
Take a breath, Jack, take a breath.
You're telling me to take a breath, tell them to take a breath.
They don't need to take a breath, they've got plenty of breath, and they've also got 2 cars in the finals.
So through the final corner we go then. Jean-Eric Verne breaks the beam and gets ready to start his one and only flying lap in the fight for pole position. Down in towards the first corner, and the second corner he goes. Looking nice and neat and tidy for the Frenchman as it stands. As we ride on board here with Mitch Evans making his way through at the start of his lap 2. So bad there for him, slipping a slide there for Jev as he comes over the crest of the hill. You can hear the car bottoming out under the bumps. Advantage for Mitch Evans then in this first sector. Looking okay for the Kiwi, but there's so much more of the lap left to go, and Verne's clawing it back now.
Gap from Jean-Eric Verne.
Yeah, he has closed it right down and actually increased it so, but Evans is fighting back. This is going to be an absolute tussle to the checkered flag here between Mitch Evans and Jean-Eric Verne. On board we ride with Verne. On the right-hand side of your picture is Mitch Evans, and you can see just how much the car is rotating coming out of 17 on the run down this back straight.
Both of them catching oversteer onto the longest straight of the lap. They've got to get on the throttle as soon as they absolutely possibly can. But this is back and forward. Verne's quickest, then it's Evans.
It's going to be all about the run through the final couple of corners. In towards turn 21 for Jean-Eric Verne then. Nice exit out of here is exactly what he needs. Bit of a slide, it's a 1:12 flat for him. Mitch Evans, 3600ths of a second ahead. Through the final corner comes Mitch Evans for Jaguar TCS Racing. Can he do it? No, he can't. It's Jean-Eric Verne then that takes pole position in the desert interior. Fantastic job for DS Penske and for the Frenchman. Top of the pile here ahead of round 2 for the Diriyah E-Prix. So beginning the one and only flying lap of the dual qualifying in the finals in the fight for pole position is Robin Freins. Makes his way through turn 1 and turn 2. All okay, a little bit squirrely on the exit of 3, but otherwise fine. Over the crest of the hill he comes and down through the left-handers. Looking nice and neat and tidy so far here for the Dutchman.
Yeah, and he thinks he knows where the grip level is, but he's continually testing that, getting on the throttle just fractions earlier, and that's when you're seeing the car just break away a little bit. We see it on board Oliver Rowland now coming through the turn 4 area. Looks like he's got a bit of understeer. The front tyres maybe not into the operating window.
Freins there getting really sideways on the run through into the right hand, and that might have just cost him 1/10 of a second or 2. First sector time, it was advantage Ollie Rowland then. 1/10 of a second up, he was over Robin Freins. Coming onto the back straight then here is the Dutchman. Over the crest of the hill, into the braking zone of turn 18 and 19. Needs to get this one nice and sweet. Lovely through turn 18 for him.
Rowland's 1.5 tenths up at this point, though he's looking good.
Yeah, a couple of corners now remaining then here for Robin Freitz down in towards turn 21 as he aims to break the beam. What is the lap time going to be for the Envision? It's a 1 minute 10.329, but Rowland is a tenth and a half up as he makes his way through turns 18 and 19. Through into turn 20 we go. What's it like in the second sector? He's up further still. It's nearly 0.2 of a second the advantage for Ollie Rowland. He comes to the line. It's pole position for Ollie Rowland for round 3 here in Diriyah. The boy from Barnsley is back, and he does it in superb style to take top honours in qualifying here in Saudi Arabia. It's Nissan's first pole since Cape Town 2023 as well. It'll be delight for Rowland, disappointment for Robin Freitz and for Envision, but what a session. The Formberg well and truly has been ripped up, thrown out the window, and it's been rewritten by Oliver Rowland for Team Nissan.